Hi Priya, welcome today to the podcast show Radiant Realization with Namrata.
Thank you,
And
Namrata. I'm
I
so happy you invited me.
and I'm really glad to have you. It's been long since we've spoken, and today we are talking on working moms and how to manage work life. Really excited to know from you on this topic, Priya. So
Thank you, Namrata, for asking this. Because I focus on women because I struggle with these issues. Because I'm a working mom, I'm a busy working mom, and I can't compromise on my job. I'm a doctor by profession. I'm a anesthesiologist, and when I take duties in hospital, I get to take my job is it starts only the starting time is definite. I starts at 8 and ending we don't know. Only by the time my surgeries are over, I can come out. Only when the patient is stable. So I can't definitely say that my work is from 8 to 3 and I will come back at 3. So it is not like, and I don't want to be that mom. I don't want to see my children see that sort of a woman who doesn't give so much importance to her profession, the life of the people she deals with. No, 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 no. I would definitely want them to be, committed to whatever they do. So, but in the meantime, I don't want them to suffer. I don't want them to feel let down. I don't want them to feel unloved. So this is how I stumbled upon that moms are the people who are suffering a lot. Okay, they are, they are just like candle. They are burning, but they are themselves, they are shrinking. So that's when I realized that they should be given the tools and techniques, that they shouldn't be candles, but they should be eternal flames. And this is when I realized that I should be teaching them how to maintain work life harmony. There's nothing called balance. It should be rather harmony. It should
correct,
go in tandem. You should create your harmony that your work life should complement your uh, family life, and your family life should complement your work life. Just like, as I said, my children should see me working hard and they should be inspired by it and they should get it from me. That's grit, that fire, that passion. But in the meantime, they should be with me. And when I realized that, okay, what I want in my life, the first picture I had was I want to be a high flying mom, but both my children should be on my wings. I want to carry them on my wings and I want to show them the world. They shouldn't be the toad in the well. There's a saying, right? They shouldn't be
yeah.
saying like, oh, kitna sahi hai sansar. No, they should see the world and they should be ready to face the world. And they shouldn't be having confidence issues. They should see that the world is available to them. And in the meantime, I should not want to be a brooding mom. As my mentor says, I would rather be a happy mom for 300 days a year than being a brooding, irritated, angry mom for 365 days a year. So I choose the first option.
Okay, Priya, this is really good. And eternal flame is something I really loved it. We do not foresee ourselves like an eternal flame, though we might be impacting other people as an eternal flame. Okay,
And
so
what I meant was that we shouldn't be, burning off
yeah,
without, we should be feeding ourselves too. There should be some, we should not be ending off by sacrificing ourselves, but rather be, recharge yourself in the process and be lit or, shining throughout.
correct, correct, correct. So if I have to ask you, Priya, how would you define work-life harmony, and what does that life would look like for you?
Okay. So that's a very good question, because my work life harmony will look like that in such a way that I am best in my capabilities. Like as a woman, whatever qualities, whatever capabilities, whatever purpose I'm being born on this earth, I should be able to fulfill it. I should be able to impact the lives of the people, not only my immediate family, but also to the society. I should be able to impact the lives of the people through my profession, through my passion, through my purpose. As you know, I'm a coach as well. So I came into anesthesia because I couldn't see people suffering. I could never see people crying out of pain. So I thought, okay, I should alleviate their pain. Then I realized that people are suffering even more with their mental pain. So physical pain, it's there, but there's so many people where the mental pain is not at all visible to the outside world. So that's why I felt, okay, I am so much more aligned with this. And I never wanted to leave off this, but I definitely am carrying both these things together. And you must be wondering, बच्चों का क्या होता होगा in between? Definitely no. But because being a coach has helped me so much more with my parenting, with how the way I deal with my, or rather, the bond that I have created with my own family, my own in laws, my siblings, siblings of my brother, sorry, siblings of my husband. And I feel so much more fulfilled. If you ask me how much would you rate on your relationships, I would say definitely 9.5 out of 10. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, sure, definitely. And I could make it happen because, well, thanks to my mentor who, handheld me and took me into coaching. Because I'm when you're working your passion, you're giving 100% your this thing or your purpose. You will strive your best to give the 100% to your children and your family. Take it from me, we women are that way. Because, but the point is, what we do is when we work and we come back, we overwork and we over deliver, and we are like at the end of the day, I'm totally exhausted, physically, mentally,
Mm.
emotionally. I don't have anything else left to give. Right? This is what happens. But I follow this. What I do is I have a very solid routine that keeps on recharging me on time. I have a very solid morning routine. I have a very solid night routine, or rather evening routine. So therein, I every day I recharge myself to deliver the next day. And mind you, if I don't do this 2 days, you can definitely my whole family will know. If I don't do this for 1 week, the neighbors will know. If I don't do this for 1 month, the whole world will know.
Mm.
So it's there in our routine that we create for ourselves for our own recharge. So just like we are delivering, women are all, carers. We care, we nurture, we give, delivering love. We are delivering things to the society, delivering to the people around us, our children. So in the process, what happens is we forget to recharge ourselves. So it's all about, how you replenish yourself, how you nourish yourself, not only physically, but also mentally and spiritually. So if you have a solid routine built on nourishing yourself in all the three aspects, rest assured, you'll be always, people will ask you, kya kha ke aate ho? So that is my mantra. That's how I have a very solid routine that I follow to the T.
Okay, that's really interesting, Priya. So, Priya, if you can share one movement where you really faced challenge balancing your work and motherhood, and how did you overcome that? So, first from your mindset point of view, and then the actual problem solving point of view.
No, definitely, I would love to add because this is a time when I was a new coach. I knew what to do, but uh, the implementation part was I was doing it, and I was doing all the spiritual and mental parts. But what I realized that I was a mother. I had just given birth. I had a C-section. My baby was 3 months old, and my elder one was 3 years old, and he had this attention deficit issues. When you speak to him, he won't listen. So you can imagine a new mom who's having a newborn baby, and the elder one doesn't listen at all. So imagine myself screaming. Already, I'm having postpartum blues. I'm having my hormones are coming down, and I'm going to start to work next week. Like I was planning to start. I was like, कैसे होगा ये सब? छोटा वाला, बड़ा वाला घर. I don't know how I'm gonna cope with my work. Will my children? And over to that, I was having constant. I couldn't, feed my elder one. I was having difficulty getting up from, he will sit down. I have to sit down on the floor and feed him, and now he will run off. And I was like, yaar, kaise uthu main? I will. Then I realized that okay, I'm not doing enough for my own body. Okay, this is where women go wrong. After a certain age, or rather, should say you should take care of your body. You should definitely take care of your body. I'm not asking you to be a supermodel, but you should be healthy enough to, climb 2 flight of stairs without getting breathless. You should be able to sit up and squat. This is a minimum requirement. So you can go to as much fit you want to be, but you should be able to do minimum this. You can resort to yoga, you can resort to gym, We can resort to Zumba, whichever modality that works for you, but definitely work on your body. Because a woman who is not taking care of her body, all her aspects suffer. If you're not able to do stuff that you want to do, imagine how much mental frustration you will be having, how much you will be, you know, you are bleeding inside and you are hurt from within and you're bleeding on the people you love. Imagine. Your physical relationship with your spouse will suffer. Your relationship with your children will suffer. You'll be constantly irritable mom. So uh, you might be asking how to do prayer. Two children, one children, how will you get up and do exercise? What I do is I have a solid yoga routine in the morning. I started doing when my child was only 2 months and I had done C-section. So my husband is a surgeon. So it's like, are you nuts? Starting so early, let your wound heal. So I was like, I will start only just slowly. I'll take care that the wound is not, affected. So I started, and the problem arises. When will you do it? Okay. So as a new mom, you sleep off. So I used to keep alarm only vibration mode. As soon as my mantra was, as soon as the alarm rings, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up off the bed. So I used to jump off the bed. Next is, okay, what will you do? So next is, decision fatigue. I used to sleep in my yoga pants, you know that? Because morning, as soon as you move off the bed, your child will wake up. He'll again pull you down to sleep. Exercise cancel. So what I used to sleep in t-shirts, feeding t-shirts and pants. So that I don't have to change at all. My yoga mat used to be kept at the bedside. Okay. And a small bit of light will be there in the night light. I would do yoga immediately as I get up. First 20 minutes over of yoga. That was more than enough. In the beginning, I couldn't do even one round of Surya Namaskar. Imagine my level of fitness. Even I couldn't do one level of Surya Namaskar. And at the end of my maternity leave at the end of 6 months, I was back to my previous weight. And I was much more fitter than I was ever in my life. I could run after my children. I could carry my younger one. I used to carry my elder one. Both of them, I was fit, and my mood also improved. You don't get angry fast. You don't get irritable fast. You'll become more mindful. One of the advantage of doing yoga is that you are so much aware of your breath, and mindfulness automatically comes. You will know automatically that anger is coming now. Anger has taken onto the bus on the previous stop and it's coming towards you. And you can witness your emotions just like you're witnessing a horse track, horse race. You can see the horse coming out from there, and you shouldn't jump onto the horse, and that's what happens. Anger horse comes, and we jump onto the horse and we start running along with it. After some time, अरे मैं तो चढ़ गई इस पे, चढ़ना नहीं था.
Agreed.
But when you get mindful, this is a very good, meditation and yoga. The one advantage is you will see the horse coming and you can choose. नहीं चढ़ना उस पे. I can very well not climb on it. This is the one beautiful message I want to give to everyone. Please, if you're not so inclined to yoga, please follow breathing exercise. But please instill mindfulness into your day-to-day life. That helps a lot. It relieves your stress. It relieves your anger management issues. It gives you, the time to think, how should I approach this conversation? When people trigger you, it's not their problem. It's you getting triggered from inside. Something inside you is triggering you. So you will have that awareness ki, I'm getting triggered. And how should I answer? How should I respond to this situation? So it is actually a double bonanza, bumper offer. If you start yoga, what is one of the benefits of, physical fitness with mindfulness? So it helped me a lot, and I would recommend everyone to not do it. Just try it. May work for you, may not work for you, but definitely include a 20 minutes of minimum exercise into your whichever way it can.
It's really interesting, Priya. So you did speak about yoga. I would like to know from you, what are other self-care activities that you prioritize for your well-being? And also, how do you find time for
Yeah, thank you,
self-care
Namrata, for
activities?
asking, because this is something that I had a jumble of activities previously. मुझे सब कुछ नहीं होता था. I used to get up, I used to do 20 minutes of yoga, 22 minutes of my gratitude, my affirmations, my visualization. सब कुछ नहीं होता था, but gratitude तो जरूर होता था. I used to definitely do gratitude every day, and that brought in so much of positivity into me. And affirmations, now I'm doing routinely because I have hooked them to some of my habits. Okay, some of my habits that are so much into me, like brushing my teeth before, just as I go to the, this is my mentor help me, my own. It's like just as I wake up and go to the bathroom mirror, you're bound to see the mirror, right? As soon as my one of my thing is I was losing hair, so it's like it was around my hair. I will definitely say the affirmation. When I go to toilet, when I'm taking bath, it is something that is there in the routine. Taking bath before going to the work. In my bath, I used to say my affirmations. Okay, and even when you're doing so much, if you're getting up early, you have inculcated this habit of getting up early. You will definitely find that you will get tired in the afternoon or evening. So I have added 1 hour of my rest time every day. 1 hour that I will do nothing. I will do something, but I will do nothing planned, no planned agenda. Sometimes I might read, sometimes I might watch Netflix, sometimes I might, but I tell my mom I'm resting, or I'll tell someone that, okay, please look after the kids. That way, I get that 1 hour and I feel so much, you know, this is something, things that we feel guilty about, like scrolling on Instagram. Actually, this is something that is mandatory. The things that are making you guilty, this is your rest and recharge. So please include it in your rest and recharge for at least 15 minutes a day. Do it guilt free. So daily and I have a day when I don't work in both these aspects, whether it is my profession or my coaching. There's a day when I'm doing according to my pleasure. It's for my happiness. It includes my self-care day. Usually it's Saturdays. So Saturdays I do things that I love to do for my hair, my skin. Like maybe I have a mini spa, or I do my pedicure. I take my children out to park. In way I feed my soul, whichever I'm feel craving. Sometimes actually I'm completely off sugars. I'm totally off sugars. I don't use sugars. I use without tea without sugars. But one day is my day. If I feel like having sugar, so wait, I have laddu. So that way you feel grounded. Okay, yeah, I'm doing everything that I want. So your brain receives an impulse that you are not overworked. You are तो ऐश कर रहे हो तो आप तो see.
Correct, correct.
So I have a binge day and a binge hour every day.
Wow. I really like this concept of binge hour. So it gives you liberty to experiment things every day, not that you wait for that one particular day in the entire week.
I've done that. I have felt exhausted. I've got into burnout. I learned it through my own experience. And I had put it in my calendar. Okay, Saturday is a binge day, and 4 to 5. Actually, 4 to 5 is my binge hour. I do nothing. Sometimes I just laze around. I just sleep on the sofa. Or sometimes I sleep on the sofa with my two children over me. I like, Beta, I'm fat tired. Go sleep there. I'm not guilty of whatever my things that come to me. I don't blame myself for, feeling that way. Sometimes I might crave noodles, which may not be healthy, but I don't blame myself in that hour. Whatever my inner being asks me, I fulfill it.
Mhm. Got, got. So we are considering that you're juggling multiple things like your work as an anesthesiologist, you're helping people like as a coach, your work around home, your love for your kids. How do you manage all those activities? So, what are your time management strategies that you are implementing that keeps you guilt free at the same time you are able to serve to the world and also to your family?
Thank you for asking, Namrata. And when it comes to, productivity, I think we have this idea of being the supermom. No, no, no. मेरे 5 हाथ है. I know मेरे 2 हाथ है, लेकिन I should act like I'm having 5 हाथ. No, or 10 हाथ. No, no, no. Always ask for help. Our mentor told us, ask, ask, ask. Become an ask hole rather than being so shy. I always ask for help, whether it is from my own mother, whether it's from my own husband, but I don't keep it against them if they are not able to help. Okay?
Hmm.
So it is, but I will find another way because I have come to terms that my life is 100% my responsibility. I won't blame, I won't complain, I won't make excuses. If I want to, for example, simple things, I expect a bit more of support from my husband. For the uh, my younger one was born 3 years back, and the first year I was nagging him constantly, कि आप क्यों नहीं help करते हो, आप क्यों नहीं उसको देखते हो? So I became a very bitter wife, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Then I realized something that, okay, I had known this from my mentor very long back that, okay, you want an apple, but you have got a mango. Okay. How much ever you try, that mango can become a better mango, but he can never become an apple. So you are constantly asking the mango, आप apple क्यों नहीं बन जाते? आप apple क्यों नहीं बन जाते? See, so how intelligent is it from me? So I
Hmm.
left it. My husband is not good at managing kids. I accept it now, you know. हाँ जी, आपसे नहीं होता, मत करो. I will find some other way. And
Hmm.
you know, I and now I asked my mom, ki, Mom, I have a coaching session. I plan my weeks with my mom, you know. We live together. I plan my weeks with my mom. I ask, Mummy, Mom, Monday ko kya banana hai? What should we make on Tuesday? And what should I buy? Is there anything I need to add for? And vegetable cutting happens on a day. Whenever I buy vegetables, I wash them in bulk. And I plan the whole week and I chop them for the whole week. And it's stored in the fridge. My mom just had to, open it, 30 minutes work. Now she doesn't feel bitter. She's overworked. I get up early in the morning. I do things that I can. I have to go for but she's so grateful. Ki, haan, I'm doing it. I'm trying to do it in the kitchen. And previously I used to think कि working moms, मुझसे नहीं होता ये. Cooking मुझसे नहीं होता. I'm a doctor. You're expecting me to. So while I was growing up, when my other women used to ask me कि कुछ तो करना आता नहीं है तेरे को kitchen में. How will you manage it, ससुराल? मैं क्यों manage करूंगी? I will hire people. I can
Hmm.
always hire.
Hmm.
But now I do it. I choose to do it. I choose to cook for
Hmm.
my children. It's not out of any obligation. I choose to cook for them, and I feel I get to cook for them. Now I am a mantra. I have choose to from. I get to cook for my children, and I don't do cooking for everything. Only things they ask me to do. Mom, you make good pancakes. I make pancakes, and they're happy. They don't want me to cook a whole Michelin star food. There are
Hmm.
things they
Hmm.
want from me, and I make time for that. But आज आपको pancakes बनाना था, please tell me the previous night. Na, Mummy, I'll make it in the morning. So I negotiate with them. When do you want me to make it? So their favorite menus are there in the weekly menu, and I just insert the things they want whenever they ask me to do, and I do cooking. And it's our limiting belief कि मुझसे नहीं होता.
Hmm. Hmm.
When you say
Hmm.
मुझसे नहीं होता, your brain believes it. नहीं तुमसे नहीं होगा. You just need to believe that you can do it, that you can be a good cook, that you can be good at kitchen, that and you can also be a good working woman, and you can also be a social worker, whichever field you want to be. You can. It's just a matter of we declaring that हाँ मुझसे हो सकता है.
Hmm.
So now I cook. I know how to cook, and now I work. Plus I do coaching and counseling. Only thing is, I have got a weekly schedule. People who ask me, can I talk with you? And the next thing is, I know how to say no. I'm very expert at saying no. The things that are not my priority, they are a no-no. But I know my priorities. What are my priorities? I know what comes first, what comes second, what comes third, and everything else. No, for time being, if you're so insistent, I can make space for you. Can you tell me what time you? आज तो नहीं हो पाएगा, बताइए अगले हफ्ते. Can we do it next week? They're so happy if I say yes. They don't want that instant yes. अभी कर दो. They're okay with a no when they feel that okay, she says no, but she cares. She cares and she just wants some time to make it happen. She is busy. We all of us know that. So it's just a matter of us communicating our no with a lot of love and be willing to help them out, just negotiating the timings.
So, Priya, this art of saying no is something that most of the women struggle with, and it is usually linked to the boundaries that you are able to set. So, Priya, I would like to know, how do you set such boundaries where you are able to say no to other person that helps you to protect
Oh,
your
sure,
time,
sure. I
your
would love to
energy?
share with the whole world. I would love to share how I say no to the whole world. Anyone comes to me and say, okay, you want to know how to say no? Sure, I'll help you out. Okay, when you find someone who is asking you something unreasonable. Okay, what happens is, whenever someone comes and asks us something, it's totally unreasonable, very selfish. Okay, this is what happens. First category. So what we do is we become bitter from inside. Yes, how can she ask such a thing from me? Okay, but we forget to see their part. They want it desperately. They just want someone to say yes. So when you are approaching the scenario from this point of view, just check with yourself. Can you be the bigger person in the world? Can you be the bigger person? Can you say yes? If you're saying yes, whom are you saying no to? When you're saying yes to this person, are you saying no to yourself? Or there's only 24 hours in a day. If you're giving that 1 hour that you had allotted for yourself, or for your husband, or for your children, when you're saying yes, what is it? If you're saying yes to giving that hour to that person, whom are you saying no to? So does it matter? If it matters, then definitely say no. This is my check. I check it. Okay, how do I check it? Okay. So then I tell them, how I reply to them is definitely I become empathetic. Empathy is a, very, very, very needed thing in this world. We don't practice empathy. Okay. How much ever we feel that opposite party is rude, or, you know, rude person, or a unhappy person, or a irritating person, that's we label them, na? Some such category of people who come and ask you without even thinking about the surroundings. So be empathetic to them. If they knew better, they would have done better, na? If they knew better, they would have done better. So be empathetic. Okay, Siddharth, we know that you need this very badly, but I can't do it right now. अभी तो नहीं हो पाएगा. But can I do this next week? If you can do it. Or if you can give something in barter, like something you can do without, compromising on your priority. Okay. So one thing is when we say no, we have a very big limiting belief is they will stop liking us. All of us have these issues that kya hoga agar if they start hating us. We have so insecure in ourselves. That's where I ask you to practice self-love. Okay, you are as important in the world as them. उनमें भी भगवान बसता है, उनमें भी भगवान बसते हैं, That's why we feel saying no to them. Their need is urgent, but your needs are also important. So उनमें तो भगवान बसते हैं, वैसे ही आप में भी बसते हैं. So be willing to say no and make your needs also a priority, needs of yourself. So when you feel that if you're saying yes to them and you are feeling that indirectly I'm saying no to myself, please say no. And how to say no? As a sandwich. Just like delivering criticism, you know, we give it as in a sandwich. Just say it. Similarly, no should be delivered in a sandwich. Okay. I feel, okay, I feel this when you do this. How do you set your boundaries? When you do this, I feel so hurt. I feel so sad. I feel so sad when you constantly come and ask me that things that I can't do. I feel so helpless. So, could you please ask me to do this? You can ask them what is your expectation. See how I asked them so lovingly. And I would really appreciate if you do this. And 90% of the cases, people don't want to hurt you, right? Nobody wants to deliberately hurt anyone. Nobody wants to deliberately make you sad. So, but we are so afraid to convey this. Okay. When you come and ask me, when you shout at me publicly, I feel very hurt. Could you rather take me aside and talk to me whenever I am doing something that is not आपको जमता नहीं है? Can you take me aside, and I would really appreciate it. See, instead of when someone shouts at you and becomes irritates you, what we do? We shut off totally. We stop all the communication with them. We avoid them in our life. If that person is your sasuma, you will to become bitter to her. So why resort to bitterness when you can always communicate? Okay, this is what I want. And when you do this, I feel this. Would you rather do this? And when they do this, most of the times they will correct it and they will do better. And that's when we forget the most important thing. We don't appreciate them. Just thank them when they do something for you. Or when they take your feedback and they help you out in a difficult situation. That is a way of setting a boundary. When you want to say no, I know this is what you feel. I know this is what your situation is. And I have been through this. The sentences are all genuine, I'm not putting any masala. Okay, you can meet a person, you will definitely know what the situation is, right? And you can tell them that we know your situation here. Okay, there was a recent incident when my head of the department, okay, it was an exam, practical exams, and certain practical cases my students hadn't studied. So they called up our head of the department and they asked, ma'am, we have heard that these many cases will be put for the practical exams. Could you please avoid these cases because we haven't studied? So what is, as a teacher, you will say, how can this be? So my HOD asked me, yeah, they are asking me to, remove. I don't want them to fail. So shall I, remove these cases? So, what I asked her, ma'am, this is one batch coming and asking you this. Okay. Will you be okay if the next 10 batches and come to you and ask that, ma'am, please will you remove this? Please will you remove this? Will you be okay with that? She said, no, never. Then this is removed. Because once you say yes, that will become a culture. So how much bitter? So you can very well communicate to these kids, right? I know your situation, sweethearts. We know that you haven't studied, but we can't do this because if we do this for you, we will be bound to do this for the next whole generations to come. They will definitely understand, right? Everyone is intelligent. We just need to tell them in the way that they understand.
It's very nicely explained. I really loved it. And you give so many examples of saying no, whether your day-to-day life, whether work, whether college, at home. And I would say this has been like a master class on art of saying no, like last few minutes.
Thank you a lot.
Priya, you did say that you
So
seek
I want
support from.
women to start saying no.
Hmm.
Women should start saying no. Yeah.
Hmm. Priya, you did mention that you seek support from your mom, from your husband. So these are the family members who support you. But in real sense, if you have to you need to establish a support network, right? Because as a
Hmm.
woman, we cannot do everything. Did say that we have just two hands and not five hands where we can process. How did you, how did you had established your network of people who are willing to support you when you need, like support you with respect to household chores, your kids' requirement, or your which gives you some personal time where you can engage yourself in self-care activities.
So thank you for asking, Namita, because I would say that I'm so blessed with, very loving mom who loves my children. Her life's purpose is to take care of my children, very loving mother-in-law. But not all women are this way, All of us don't have most of us are from nuclear families. So where we will be struggling. If the husband is not supporting, we might sometimes even stop working because, children come first. So in these situations, what I recommend is if you're hiring, some people hire staff, some people hire staff. If they hire someone to cook, they hire someone to take care of children. This isn't well to do families. But in where you can't hire, you can definitely barter. Women can definitely do barter. Okay? You might be having a close knit. You should definitely invest in a close knit circle of like minded women. If you're a working mom, you should embody the leadership qualities. Okay, all of us have this problem. What shall we do about it? Okay, so we can come up in the group societies like they made like okay 6 to 7 भेज दो मेरे घर मेरा काम तो हो जाएगा 7 बजे तक. We can come up with ideas within the group. I have seen close knit friends, girls, my own colleagues, some of them from other hospitals, they live in the same compound, and they have come to an agreement कि हाँ 4 to 6 they will send their children to play at designated homes. Okay, each day they take turns. Okay, so imagine you're getting 2 hours of play, but only if, and the person who is hosting the event, that lady will take care of the children for 2 hours. All the 6 other friends are getting 2 hours, they can do their things. Okay, this is one way of doing this. Second is when you're asking your close ones like either your parents or in-laws, what happens is their way of parenting, our way of parenting may not sync. They may shout for things that are so unnecessary, or they might be triggered at they may not be having your level of emotional mastery. Okay, so one thing is we have to learn is accept, forgive them, when they're not able to do it. And how do you make them do it with more passion? How to make them do it with more of love? Appreciate them. Please, please, please do appreciate them. Appreciate your husband for taking care of your children for 30 minutes. But no, what we do is we take everything for granted. उनका तो काम ही है ना, उनके बच्चे हैं, they should be looking after, right? That's the attitude we have towards a husband, our in-laws. उनके नाती पोते हैं ना, they should be looking after, I should be given some time. मैं तो सारा दिन करती रहती हूँ. They are not thinking about me. See, the energy we give out, the energy we receive. The energy we are giving out to them, that will go, it moves like boomerang. But if you appreciate them, if you, I so much appreciate my mom for doing things, I asked her, Mom, what do you want me to do? What time you want to watch your serials? I don't judge her for watching movies and serials. Instead, I have taken a Hotstar account, VIP account for her. What is the time you want to? She should also have a recharge time. And you know what? I give you in writing. If you give your mom and mother-in-law 1 hour of recharge time, just like you had, they will look after your children with double the energy because they feel guilty for taking care of themselves.
Yes, agree.
They feel very guilty if they take their me time. Give them 1 hour of me time every day. They will be like, "Beta, aap jaake rest kar lo. Go and take rest. I will look after the children." Works.
Yes.
And this is the one way. Second is whenever they are not up to the mark, let it go. Don't make a big fuss about it. Everyone has a good day, bad day. Put that. Accept it. Forgive them. Don't keep it in your heart. If you're not able to let it go, journal it. There's so many things that you can do to forgive them. Anything else, Namrata? I think I'm complete.
Yes, your answers are extremely comprehensive, Priya, and I'm really loving it. Okay, Priya, so we did speak about self-care time, support system. I would want to know from you, how do you prioritize spending time with your kids and the bonding that you want to build with them, the love that you want to share with them? How do you identify time for such activities, and what do you do?
Sure, I would love to share. In my calendar, there's a time. After 5:30 is family fun time. 5:30 to 9:30 is my family fun time. It is there in my calendar. Everything, I get a reminder on my phone. So
Wow.
if at all I schedule something, I, compensate for them. I've told that I'll take them to park tomorrow because I'm taking this time off. Actually, this is my family fun time. And 1 hour I take for my business. 7:30 to, I do things to, hardly it goes around 7:30 to half an hour at some part of the day. 1 hour I work towards my coaching business. But I make sure that I ask my children, beta, I'll be going for a class, okay? Would you please don't disturb me? Can you do that? I don't tell them. I ask them. My children are only 6 and 3, but they understand, they speak. And I have taught them how to label their emotions. My elder one very well tells me, Mom, I'm getting angry. Younger one has a following, he started following the elder one. He tells me that he's feeling sad. So he tells me, Mommy, I'm feeling sad because my friend told me that you are having cough, don't come near me. I was like, okay. But if he spoke that way to you, he's not your friend. Because we don't hurt our friends. Okay? And similarly, if you call someone your friend, you shouldn't be hurting your friends. So we had this conversation about what are they feeling or how are they feeling. So when one thing is I have a time for my family, and anytime have to do something extra in my family one time, I make sure that I ask them, can you help me do this? In the meantime, what do you want me to do when I come? Or what do you want extra? Do you want me to still play with me? Okay, what should I play with you? Or see, it's not about, so we have a communication around what they want from me and what is it that they love to have from us. Most of the times, there's a book called Love Languages. Okay, I suggest everyone to read this. It's Love Languages. It's not only about spouse and husband and wife, but it is also very true about your children. Your children have their own love languages. So if my elder one's love language is physical touch. He feels fulfilled when I touch him. So whenever he feels the loss of connection, he comes and asks me, can you hug me? So in whatever time and place I am, I give him the hug. So that way he feels fulfilled. The younger one's time is he wants to sit close to me. He wants that connection. He wants quality time. He would insist that I will sit with you in the classroom. So he's that sort of a kid. I understand totally, and I don't get angry at it. One thing is I communicate my anger to my kids. I don't shout and all that. I tell them, Amma is feeling, angry, baby, because, I expected this out of you. And you told me that you will do that, but you didn't do this. So I'm feeling sad. Could you please do this? And if they do not listen to me repeatedly, I have set consequences for them. Okay, baby, if I take you out and if you keep on shouting and making tantrums about this thing, then I will not buy you anything if you make tantrum. But if you ask me sweetly and politely, I will sometimes buy you. So this is the way you give prior notification that what is expected, what is it that you love to have from them, what is it they would love to have from me, what is the reward of, fulfilling it's not like I'm bribing them, but a delayed fulfillment. It's okay if they can wait for 1 hour for my class for them to play. I'm trying to build resilience in them. So that's the way communication works beautifully. My mom never knew this because my mom never knew this. Our previous generation, they never knew this. They would get angry, it'll come off like a volcano, and we never knew what hit us. But I think this is also a way. I'm not saying this is the right way or whatever works for you. There are women who feel such a release after getting angry. Okay, might work for them, but I would like to ask, how do you feel after you have vented out? Does it make you feel better? Most of the time, the answer is no. They feel guilty about it. So why do things? It's a rule of 10, In the first 10 minutes, you may be feeling immediately after that, how you feel. After 10 minutes, how do you feel? After 10 years, how do you feel? Immediately, the venting might give you some relief. Ask yourself, how do you feel after 10 minutes? You might feel, I feel like shit. I could have done better. After 10 years, I could have been a better mom. So it's just a matter of your choices. Whether you want your own instant gratification by just, exploding, or do you want to find a better way to manage things? Do you want to follow the path for a better better way that doesn't make you feel guilty later and makes you feel better as a mom.
Agree totally with you on this, Priya. Yeah, one thing that I usually hear, and that is setting screen time when it comes to spending time with kids, because you might want to spend time with kids, and for them, they want to spend time with gadgets. So how
Yeah.
do you manage this?
Actually, I'm not saying my children are off gadgets. I give them screen time. Okay, currently they're on screen. But I have boundaries around screen time. Okay. My elder one knows how to look at the clock watch. Okay. So I ask him, okay, if I give it to you, when will you give it back to me? So he will say half an hour. The big, the minute hand reaching the 12. I was like, okay, I agree. I don't take so much. If it is less than 1 hour, I'm not so and I'm strict about it. It should be less than 1 hour. It's okay about. I'm okay with it. But he should be willing to follow his word. If he says he will give it back to me at 12, he should give it back to me by 12. Okay. So next I ask him, what should I do if you do not give it to me by the time you have told me? So he's like, Mom, you can come and take it away. Sometimes I might miss the clock. I might get in the pot. Sometimes I might not see. You please come and take it at time. Like, okay, will you become angry at that time? So this is I'm asking the I'm nullifying the possible consequence. What happens is children they get temper tantrums. They start banging, they start crying. Okay. So I give them prior notification. I nullify all the possible problems that may come. Okay, if I come and take back the phone, will you be angry at me at that? Like, no, I won't be angry. Will you make a issue about? Will you be sad about it? It's like, no, I won't be sad about it. Okay, then, but if you don't give me by that time, I will not give you the phone for tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Is it okay for you? So I'm setting my boundary if he does this, if he doesn't follow this. So he knows that, and stick to your boundaries. If I tell that I will not give the phone for the next 2 days, I do not give the phone for the next 2 days. So my children know that mom says and she follows it. You can't, makhan laga ke you can't change her. Whatever she says, she does it. So if she says she will not give it, she will very well do it. So in a way, that builds respect in the eyes of your children. Most of the times, boys they don't take the words of their mom so seriously, right? They know that they can very well, work around it. Moms are work aroundable, but I don't want. That's the next reason I do that, because they should be willing to accept the no of a woman as they become young adults. As they become men, they should respect the no of a woman. A woman says no, the no is no. That doesn't mean that we can go and again, if he shows more of love, more of anything else, the no can become okay. That no should be taken as a no, and we should be willing to accept no's. So I would love to set those standards to my boys.
You are really building them for next decades, is what I would say, Priya, and they're definitely going to become a better human being. Okay, so Priya, one thing that I would really want to know from you is if you can share a moment of pride that you felt when you are able to manage, basically achieving balance or harmony between your career and your family life. Any moment of pride that you would like to share with us?
I'm a working mom, but um, my husband is also equally busy, even more busy than me. But when they get issues, my in-laws, the people from my in-laws side, they prefer to call me. Okay, because they find it that I get them a solution. I'm empathetic. Even though I'm a busy person, they respect my timings and they ask me, "Are you busy? Can I call you at this time?" And I give them the time slots. Okay, I'll be free from this time. I'll definitely call you. And I keep my word. If I say them that I'll call them back, I'll call them back. The next thing that I'm so proud is my in-laws are I have put in so much of effort to have a good relationship with my in-laws. Okay. So my father-in-law, they, he prefers me taking him to the hospital rather than his own son taking him to the hospital. Because I understand, I try to understand him. I try to understand my mom. And I don't blame, complain, or make excuses about with my husband most of the times. The things that don't gel with me, I don't give it as a criticism. I take up the 100% responsibility. If it is meant to happen, it is up to me to make it happen. I don't blame them for not being, working my way. Everyone has their own way of doing things. So if I want the dinner to be served early, I make the environment in a way that it serves early. I will suggest, I will set the dinner, I will avoid giving snacks. So in a way, I will work it around in such a way that I take the complete responsibility of making the good things happen. I don't blame, complain. So in a way, I have built a good relationship with them. And I'm so proud to say that my in-laws are, so happy to have me as their daughter.
That's really a great achievement. And that too coming from an in-laws family. Definitely, Priya. Okay, so Priya, a last thing that I would like to know from you is one advice that you would like to give to working mom, because that advice would be something that you implemented in your life and you could see a quantum change in your routine or in your relationship with your family, your work colleague, your kids. So one advice.
So actually, recently I had applied for a TED Talk. I don't know whether I'll get my chance or not. But the three enemies of a woman, the enemies are within us. The first one is self-doubt. We think we can't do it. So to overcome it, when self-doubt comes, always ask for help. Ask for help. So believe that you can do it. You, matlab, not only you have always got the wisdom to make it happen. Sometimes it might be to ask. Sometimes it might be to delegate. Sometimes it might be to say no. So don't let self-doubt pull you down. Second is don't let guilt be your checometer. Okay. Sometimes you might be late coming back from work and your children slept off without eating. It happens. We take too much on ourselves. Okay. We think that every day should be perfect. No. Even my mom was not working, but still there were days I preferred to sleep empty stomach. So don't think that everything is just because you are working or that you are focusing on your career or because you are trying to give to the society, your own people are getting neglected. Sometimes it might happen, but don't, keep on beating yourself. Always think what can be done better. Next time, what can I do better? Or next time, what can I delegate? Next time, whom can I ask? See, so don't let guilt pull you down. The third thing that I want, all of us to know is don't let shame pull you down. Guilt is something that comes from within. Shame is something that happens to you every minute from outside. People shame you for not working. People will shame you for working. Okay. If you had come and sit at home, you will be like, she's sitting at home wasting husband's money, not doing anything, not bringing onto table. In the process, you are losing the respect you deserve. You will be a consumer. You'll be treated as like a parasite. Okay, all the things that a non-working woman who is not bringing anything to the table goes through. Her opinions don't, not taken so much, not given so much of importance. But choose. I'm not saying not working is. It's a choice. I had told my husband that I don't want to work for the first 8 months after having baby. Like, okay, let it be. So it should be your choice. Nobody should shame you into working, or no one should shame you into not working. Okay. You should be your own biggest cheerleader. You should be the one who should be your biggest support, your own biggest support. Whatever the world might say, we know that from our within our heart that our intentions were purest. Whether we worked, There are women who are judged for, she left her child back and she went abroad to make money. She's chasing money. Okay. God knows that what that woman is going through. Her property might be in more. No mom does that deliberately. She will do everything in the best interest of her children, according to best of her knowledge, best of her capabilities, to the best of her understanding, best of her resources. Please don't judge anyone and don't let anyone else judge. Be your own biggest supporter, your own biggest soulmate.
This is a $1 million golden advice, Priya, is what I would say. The three words that you shared, and it's I could really relate to them, and I'm definitely going to keep them as my mantra for the whatever I do, because yeah, you relate to I could relate to each and everything that you said today, Priya. So I would say thank you so much, Priya, for coming and sharing your views wholeheartedly. The real life experiences that you shared are really so that makes it so easy to connect, and definitely all the people who are going to watch this, they are going to really admire you for sharing your views.
Thank you. Thank you, Namrata. I love you. Even the person you have become, I really admire you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think you have yet a long way to go. The world, this talk, I've so inspired, or rather, I felt so happy when I heard the name of this talk show. I was like, wow, I should definitely appreciate this one. I wanted to appreciate this in the beginning of the talk, but really, congratulations. This rings bell in the minds of the people.
Thank you, Priya.